what about our SWOT analysis? I'm thinking about buying a home. Is it right for me? What steps do I think through? I really like this slide.
Not everybody is analytical, and some of you may have seen SWOT analysis before. If you've seen SWOT analysis, you start with what fits your budget and your lifestyle, and that's sort of what you're going to go look at. And so for each home, what are the strengths? What are the pros? What are the pluses in this home? And what are the strengths if I live here? What are the weaknesses?
Hmm.
Is the home noisy? Is the drainage around the house maybe not so good? Are the windows leaky? Do I not like the chartreuse in the bathroom? I don't know. What are the weaknesses of the property? And then what are the opportunities? Because maybe you've got a really good skill. You're a good painter. So you can take those purple polka dots and get rid of those without a problem. And your realtor knows where to get discounted but good quality new flooring. So you can take that cat pee carpet out and have a floor that's exactly what you want at a reasonable price. Then you can get the home at a lower price and bring it up to value with a little bit of effort. And then there are threats. Is this near a construction site? Is this near a highway? Is this in an area that's likely to be condemned by the state of Colorado because they're going to expand a highway, right?
Yeah.
Those kinds of things. Think about where old Stapleton was. And you
Mm-hmm.
had all those homes that had the noise pollution around that area, and they were an issue.
Yep.
So think about it. If you love Denver Square and really old Victorian homes, they have so much character. And there are a couple threats. Things like lead in the pipes
Yeah.
and sewer lines and plumbing, and is it knob and tube for your electrical? Was there even any insulation?
Yeah.
So many things. Now, that doesn't take away the charm. It just means you need to know that there may be some extra pieces that go with it. So do SWOT for each of
Yep.
your properties, and then you can figure it out. Now, if you don't like SWOT, what's important to you? Make a list, and each home that you go in, check off what it has.
That's
And if
right.
Yeah, and then save us a spot at the end for, oh my gosh, it's got killer views like behind me, or oh my gosh, it's got barking dogs on the other side of
Mm-hmm.
a fence, and my dog is never going to survive those mean dogs.
Yeah. You don't want that.
So choose a system, set it up. SWOT's one of my favorites because it causes me to think outside the box. I don't just go in and fall in love with the house or go in and go, oh, it stinks.
Mm-hmm.
I can actually evaluate it.
Yep. That's very smart because I think a lot of people make that decision within the first 30 seconds of walking into the home, and they might miss out on a great property, or they might pick a property that's not a great property. You're going to live in this home for conceivably 5, 7, 10, 15 years. Make sure you're going through all the pros and cons of that home to make sure it's a good investment for you emotionally and financially.
Yeah, so it's really put your plan together, make your plan, work your plan, and adjust. One of the
Yeah.
things most buyers find is what they initially thought was going to happen. It's not
Doesn't.
available. It's not in
Yep.
reality right now. And so there's an old adage that all buyers are liars. Well,
Hmm.
no, that's not the case. Buyers just don't know really what they want and what's available.
Mm-hmm. I think buyers are uncertain, and uncertainty comes from not knowing the next steps. And that's where you're a big resource, Beth.
Well, not knowing the next steps or not knowing what's really there. You're buying
Yeah.
real estate. We talk about dreams, but you're buying real estate. It's a property. And
Yeah.
so you have to be very real about it. And that part, oh well,
So let's
that's
talk about that. How do various parties view real estate?
oh, I love this one. The seller thinks that their home is a nice sprawling ranch with beautiful mature landscaping and mountain views. And the buyer goes in and says, well, it's a little tight. Don't really see any good mountain views unless you count those peak views.
Mm-hmm.
And the landscaping's okay, but this is not a grand home. That's the buyer's view. And the lender's going, oh, that shack. Okay, what else is wrong with it? Because the lender's underwriter is trying to figure out why this loan should not be made. Not Joe, but the underwriter who's the last gatekeeper for the loan is trying to figure out why they should not give you the property. And so they're going to look at it even more askance.
Mm-hmm.
And then the appraiser is going to come in and say, oh, you might as well be camping. You're just out in the woods on this one. You're going, hey, it's not that bad.
No.
And then your tax assessor, when you get your tax bill, is going to say, well, you've got this palatial mansion and it's worth so much more money. Anyway, they're all different views.
Yep.
And it's the same house. It really is just the same house.
Just different perspective, and everybody's perspective is their reality.
Oh, it is. So when you're negotiating, as a buyer, you see the house this way, and the seller sees the house the other way. You have to figure out how to communicate why, as a buyer, you might think it shouldn't be worth as much.
Yep.
The seller has to figure out how to let the buyer feel the worth that they feel the house has.
Mm-hmm.
That's really the first round of negotiations. And then the next one is through the appraiser. But you don't get to talk to the appraiser, and I don't get to talk to the appraiser. We sort of get to communicate in writing.
Yep.
Yeah, it's an amazing process. So, it's a matter of saying, let's be as real as we can about the property.
Mm-hmm.